Hello students, sorry for the technical problem. Myself Ramesh Masuna, I'm going to welcoming all of you on behalf of ACE Online and powered by ACE Engineering Academy for this session on preparation strategy on compiler design. And myself Ramesh Masuna, I'm going to take the session. Here in this session, we are going to discuss about and what to prepare from the compiler design subject and where to focus, what is the possibilities of asking questions, and what is the tapped questions, what are the untapped questions, that all we are going to discuss here in this session. Fine. Before we start the session, we will understand what are the weightage analysis, means what is a weightage analysis of the compiler design subject. Here I have analyzed papers from 2016 to 2022. Now in 16 we have two sets of papers, 17 two sets, 18, 19, 20 and 21 again two sets, 22. Means totally I have analyzed these many papers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 papers, 10 PYQs. If you see 10 PYQs, you can understand where to focus. Look at, we have 5 chapters, lexical analysis, parsing, this is the first chapter, parsing, syntax directed translation, and intermediate code generation and optimization. There are 5 chapters in the compiler design subject. From the 5 chapters, you understand where questions are asking. Look at, in GATE 2022, 1 2 marks question from the parsing, 1 mark questions from syntax directed translation, and 1 questions which is covering all topics and major focus is on optimization. Right now, totally how many marks? Totally, here they have asked 4 marks from the compiler design subject. And look at in 21, there are 2 questions of 2 marks from the parsing and totally 4 marks from the parsing and 1 mark from syntax directed translation, 1 mark from intermediate code generation. Totally, the 6 marks asked in 21 papers. In both the sets, you look at, in 21 set 1 and set 2, in both the sets, there are totally 6 marks. And in 2020, we have 4 marks, 2019, 6 marks, 2018, 5 marks, 4 marks, 4 marks, 5 marks, 5 marks. So means what you can understand, minimum you are getting 4 marks from the subject. Means you are going to get an average of 4 to 6 marks from the subject. And one important thing is this 4 to 6 marks from the subject, you can able to expect what kind of questions are possible to ask. What are the questions that are going to be asked? 90% of the cases we can expect it, but the 10% of the cases we can say that could be untapped area questions. Even in this session, today's session, I am going to discuss where to focus and all. And tomorrow also we have one more session, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. where we are going to discuss about the important concepts. In the tomorrow session, I am going to cover some of the questions and to explain you where questions are possible to ask and what are the possibility type of questions that are untapped questions that we are going to discuss. That's what I can definitely say, that if you listen this today's session and tomorrow's session, it is going to cover 100% of the paper from the compiler design. Means whatever the questions are possible to ask, we can expect it. And moreover, compiler design is one of the small subject, and focus on it, focus on the concepts so that you can able to score this 4 to 6 marks that is going to be asked from the compiler design. Now look at in 2019, here look at 2019, there are 3 questions, 2 1 mark questions, 1 2 marks questions, totally 4 marks from the parsing, and 1 2 marks question from syntax directed translation, right? And totally 6 marks. Just you observe in all of these, we have rarely asking questions from the lexical analysis, but asking it is not completely ignored, just you can expect 1 mark questions. And in syntax directed translation, you are getting regularly in syntax directed translation paper. In intermediate code generation, so far it is asked 1 mark questions only, no 2 marks questions. And in the code optimization chapter, that was there previously, later it is removed, again it is added now. It is added in 2021 onwards. So in 2021 paper, one 2 marks question is given from the optimization based on the common sub-expression eliminations. These are 2 marks question asked. Optimization is also important, and one important thing is in the optimization previously data flow analysis was not there, and this data flow analysis is added as a new topic. And in the previous gate in 2021, one mark question asked, and that is based on the some theoretical concepts of data flow analysis. Now you can expect some problematic part of it. So to get 4 to 6 marks from the subject, you can expect 90% of the times what questions are possible to ask, we can expect it. Just listen to me. So I'm going to tell you what are the possible type of questions and where to focus and what are the expected type of questions that we are going to discuss. And before that, I wanted to say you only one thing: no best, no rest. Until and unless we don't give our best, we are not allowed to take a rest. Give our best. Forget about the rank, like whether we are going to get Air 1 or below Air 100 or below Air 1000. Forget about that. First thing, you have to give your best. Automatically, the best will come. Like automatically, the best rank is going to come. After you give the best, means you should have a self-satisfaction. Suppose I have studied for 2 hours of a session. You should feel that, okay, in the 2 hours, I have learned something. And I am confident on some topic. That confidence you require to have. It is not that I am studying 24 hours a day, but I am not able to solve even one question, there is no use. Are you getting my point? So means what I am trying to tell you is give your best, what is possible from your side. You give your best, automatically the best results are going to come, then you go for the rest. Otherwise, don't take a rest. Chalo, we'll discuss chapter by chapter wise. We'll continue with the first chapter, Lexical Analysis. From the Lexical Analysis chapter, what questions were asked and what are the questions that you can able to get it. So possible type of questions. So far questions asked are on some of the theoretical based questions, theory based questions, like which phase is going to identify the keywords of a program, which phase is going to eliminate the comments in a program, like keywords identified by lexical analysis, comments identified by lexical analysis, like some theoretical questions are asked. Theory questions were asked, and one more type of questions is they have asked for number of tokens, means they have given some program snippet, and asked to find how many tokens in the program, like int a semicolon, this is a sum of the program snippet, and how many tokens, int 1 token, a 1 token, semicolon 1 token, there are 3 tokens, means they are giving a program snippet. Previously, when you see the previous gate questions, before 2003, there are some questions on Pascal programming, and so there are some questions on Fortran programming, but that Pascal and Fortran programming kind of questions they don't ask, because that is not known by us and not known by you, because you haven't studied Pascal and Fortran programming language. You might have studied C programming, Java programming. They may give you some C or Java programming snippet and ask you to find how many tokens in the program. There is a one kind of questions. And another kind of questions is which of the following can be identified as a token? Which of the following can be identified as a token? Can be identified as a token without depending on the next input character. Like suppose say if it is not equal to is there. Suppose if it is not equal, and this could be identified as a token because after not equal you don't get any operator after that. So means after the lexical analysis sees the not symbol, then it will check for the next character equal. Once not and equal is there, it will go to the final state, means it is not required to check what is there in the next input symbol. So means without checking the next input symbol, which of the which of the string is going to be identified as a token. That could be another type of question asked in the previous gate. And when you see 2018 paper, they have given some patterns Pattern means like there are given pattern for token, like token 1 is having pattern like A star, B, C star, something like this. Some token patterns are given and they are given some inputs like A, B, C, C, something like this, and asked to find which of the following tokens are going to be generated. So means according to the patterns given for the tokens, for the input sentences, you have to check what pattern is matching. That pattern, according to the pattern, which tokens are going to be identified. Like see, A star, B, C star means any number of A's followed by one B and then followed by any number of C's. One A and one B, then two C's. So this is matching with the token T1. So means the string is, to recognize this string, there are token 1 is possible, right? That kind of questions were asked in the first time. Now what is expected from the lexical analysis? Expected type of question. So far, no question asked on lexical errors. No question is asked on lexical errors. You can expect a question from the lexical errors. Like they may give you some program snippet like int salary equaled rupees 50,000. Rupees 50,000. The question could be like this: which phase of the lexical analysis, which phase of the compiler is going to identify the error in the program snippet? Then you can expect options like lexical analysis phase, syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis phase, intermediate code generation phase. Some options are given. Now here, or else some option like no compilation error. Now here, do you have any error in this program statement? Definitely, yes, we can say. Where is the error in the program snippet? This is a rupee symbol. And this rupee symbol is not part of the character set, because not part of the character set of the programming language. Now we can say that rupee symbol is called illegal symbol. And illegal symbols are going to be identified by the lexical analysis phase. Means we can say it is an error at the lexical analysis phase. So means they may give you some program snippets and ask you to find which phase of the compiler is going to identify what type of errors. Means question not asked on lexical errors. So you can expect now at least 1 mark questions on lexical errors. And one more, the important thing is they haven't asked any question on lex. What is a lex? Lex is a lexical analyzer tool, means it is available as a command in the Unix operating system to generate the lexical analyzer. And in that lexical analyzer, we have to represent the token and what is the pattern of the token, so that analyzer is going to convert that pattern into the lexical analyzer. Means it is going to construct a table representation of transition diagram constructed for the pattern, along with some procedure that uses a table to recognize the tokens. And that is called lex tool. Lex tool is available as a command in the Unix operating system. And this, based on lex tool, you may expect some theoretical questions like what is the output of lex compiler? Output of lex compiler is, what is the output of lex compiler? lex.yy.c. What this lex.yy.c contains? It is a table representation of transition diagram constructed for the regular expressions for the tokens, along with the standard procedures. That is automatically generated in the form of C source code by the lex compiler. This could be one possible theoretical questions I am saying you. How many sections in the lex program? Lex program is having 3 sections like declarations, auxiliary procedures, translation rules, and these are the 3 sections in the lex program. Like some theoretical questions, I am expecting some theoretical questions you can expect from the lexical analysis. This is the first chapter. Okay, from the first chapter you can expect only these kind of questions. And moreover, next we'll go for the next chapter, that is called parsing. In the parsing we have 3 sub-chapters we can call context-free grammars, top-down parsers and bottom-up parsers. Okay. Here we can say what is a, okay, any specific things you wanted, just let me know. Okay, if any specific things, just let me know what are the specific things. Just I can read your comments, and so that if any specific things you wanted, I can read and I can help you during the live session itself. Okay, right. Okay, you are free to put your any messages here, so I can reply to you all. Akhil Hussain laughing on me, so I don't know why you are laughing on me. So fine, no issue. Right. Next, we'll go ahead with parsing. And parsing, in parsing, we have three subchapters: context-free grammars, top-down parsing, and bottom-up parsing. On the grammars, they are going to ask questions. In the previous gate, they have asked questions on grammars, especially on ambiguous grammars. And now, what is ambiguous grammar? Ambiguous grammars are one which has more than one parse tree for some input sentence. For some input sentence, the grammar has more than one parse tree. And questions are possible to be asked on number of parse trees, number of parse trees for the input sentence. This kind of questions are asked. And which of the following input is accepted by the grammar? Which input is accepted by the grammar? That is a one kind of questions. And another question is to parse the input, how many steps, number of steps? This is also one question asked in 2007 GATE examination. The question is number of steps in the parsing process, number of steps, how many steps are required? That also could be one of the questions. And the question is on not on the conversions, but conversion of ambiguous grammar into unambiguous will be done based on the trial and error method and based on the precedence and associativity of the operators, redefining the precedence and associativity. So questions were asked based on the precedence of the operators and associativity of the operators. Associativity of the operators. These are questions. Now on ambiguous grammars, they have asked number of parse trees and which input is accepted, number of steps, and questions are possible on precedence and associativity. And questions on modifying the grammars, we call how to modify the grammar. So left recursion is not allowed in the top-down passes, so that how left recursion is going to be eliminated, left recursion elimination. We can see in the modification of left recursion. On left recursion, questions were asked so far. But what is expected? What is expected topic? So far, no question given on left factoring. You can expect a question on left factoring. What is left factoring? Isolating the common parts of two productions into single production is called left factoring. Means if two productions having the common prefixes, taking parsing decision is ambiguous, so that to make the parsing decision accurate, we have to go for the factoring. On left factoring, no questions were asked, but you can expect a questions. But you can expect some of the MSQ questions, on the ambiguous grammars. Means they may give you a grammar, and they may give you the set of parse trees as an options, and which parse trees are going to be generated by which grammar. That could be like an MSQ question that is unexpected. These are the concepts from where questions were asked, and these are the concepts from where the questions are expected to be asked. And next, we'll see the top-down parsing. In top-down parsing, we have discussed about brute force method of parsing, brute force method. And majority of the people, they don't know what is brute force method of parsing. We have discussed brute force method of parsing, recursive descent parser. And anyhow, these parsers are outdated, but you can expect a theoretical questions on this, like what is what, theory questions. And most of the times questions asked on predictive parser. Latestly in 21 also one question asked on predictive parser. What kind of questions are asked? The question asked is, in the parse table M, so and so non-terminal X entry, X row, and some A column, what are the productions? What are the productions? This kind of questions are asked. Like on a particular row and column, what productions are possible, like something extends to capital A, small a, or small b, some kind of production is possible on the particular entry, and that what entry is possible. This is a kind of question asked in the previous gate. And what is an expected questions? No, the expected questions, questions on predictive parsers only. On the predictive parser, instead of just asking about that particular entry, what are the production rules, they may ask you questions in the predictive parse table, number of error entries. This could be one of the question. Or number of entries which are defined multiply, number of entries defined multiply. So we can call multiply defined entries, number of entries defined multiply defined entries. Suppose if the grammar is not suitable for the predictive parser, you can expect a conflicts in the parse table. Like that is multiply defined entry means conflicting entries. Or sometimes instead of giving conflicting entries, I have seen some questions where they are asked inadequate state. Inadequate state means that states that are having a conflicting. This is also one kind of questions. Number of error entries, number of entries defined multiply, this kind of questions are possible. And also no question asked so far on the LL-1 grammar. Now what is LL-1 grammar? This is a grammar suitable for the predictive parser. And if the grammar is LL-1, if the grammar is LL-1, the parse table do not have any multiply defined entries. They may ask you a question, which of the following is LL-1? Which of the following grammar is LL-1? Which of the following grammar is LL-1? Which grammar is LL-1? They may give you option A, B, C, D. Some options are given and some options are given, and we have to verify each grammar whether that grammar is LL-1 or not. And what are the rules for LL-1? If the grammar is ambiguous, it is not LL-1. If the grammar is left recursive, not LL-1. If it is not ambiguous, not left recursive, if any production is of the form A tends to alpha or beta, we have discussed the rules. First of alpha intersection, first of beta should be pi. If first is pi, then we have to look for first of alpha intersection, follow of beta equal to pi if first of beta contains epsilon. That rules we have to check. So possible this time I can definitely expect there is a multiple selection question on checking LL-1. So far no question asked on LL-1 directly, but LL-1 asked in the bottom up parsers, like the above grammar is LL-1 or not or something else. But you can expect like an MSQ question this time. This is from the top down parsings. And before we go for bottom up parsing, any doubts from any of you? I think nobody is fine. Krishna Chaitanya, Pendurti, good evening. Vishwajit Das, sir, is compulsory to study TOC before compiler? Actually, this is a mindset of the students, but definitely it is not mandatory. It is just many students have a mindset that TOC is required to study compiler. But how much extent it is required, that only you focus on it. How much extent is required TOC for compilers? And TOC is required only in the context of what is automata. If you know what is automata, sufficient. And you know what is a grammar, sufficient. If you know what is a context-free grammar, sufficient. So if you know these three things, automata, grammar, context-free grammar. If you know these three things, sufficient to learn compiler design. But anyhow, even you don't know these three things, automata, grammar, context-free grammar. Anyhow, when I'm taking any lectures, I'll be talking about what is automata, what is a grammar, what is a context-free grammar, what is a regular expression. These are some basic things that you need to know. It is not that you should know everything about TOC, then only you can learn for the compilers. It is not compulsory, right? But it is only the mindset of the people. So the mindset of the people says like compiler is after TOC. So no actually. So sufficient to have the basic knowledge. What is automata, what is regular expression, what is grammar, what is context-free grammar. That's it. If you know these things, you can able to learn compiler design easily. Okay, this is a mindset of the students. Okay, and don't worry about it. Vishwajit, is it okay? Vishwajit Das, I think Vishwajit Das is happy with my explanation. Right. Okay. Thank you, Vishwajit. Next, we'll go ahead with bottom-up parsing. In bottom-up parsing, it is going to construct a parse tree from the bottom to top, and in bottom-up parsers uses rightmost derivation in reverse. In bottom-up parsing, we have a topics called shift-reduce parser, But so far, only one question asked on shift reduce parser, which of the following is a handle? And still you can expect a questions like which are the handles? Which are handles for the input sentence? That could be one kind of question asked only one time, and still there is a scope of asking question on shift reduce parser. Then we have a concepts called LR of K parsers. In LR of K, we have a family of LR parsers, that is LR of 0, SLR of 1, LALR of 1, and LR of 1. And so far, whatever the questions were asked to find what is the type of the grammar. What is a type of grammar? It is asked what is the type of the context-free grammar. Is it LR of 0 or SLR of 1 or LALR of 1 or LR of 1? What type of grammar it is? That is only asked. Right now, it is asked only what type of grammar. Means the questions given is some grammar is given and said the above grammar is LR of 0, the above grammar is SLR of 1 but not LR of 0, the above grammar is LALR of 1 but not SLR of 1, LR of 1 but not LALR of 1. That kind of questions were asked. But so far no questions asked on the parse tables, parse table entries and all. But this time you can expect a questions. This time expected questions I am telling you. So what is expected? The expected question is the questions may be on parsing table. On a parsing table, questions may be possible. Like the questions could be number of shift entries. I may ask you a question. Suppose if I was asked to prepare a paper, I may ask you a question like this. Number of reduce entries in the parse table after you construct it, and number of go-to entries, number of error entries. This kind of question is possible. Number of shift entries, reduce entries, go-to entries, error entries, and accept anyhow only one, right? Accept always possible to be one. Right? Question could be on parsing table like this. Like if you construct a predictive parse table for the above grammar, if you construct LR of 0 parse table for the above grammar, the parse table contains dash number of shift entries, dash number of reduce entries, dash number of go-to entries, dash number of error entries. Numerical answer type of question possible. Means question is on parse table. So how to solve that? You have to construct the entire table. Then only you can able to understand. Then only you can able to know to find the answer for the question. And questions were not asked on number of conflicting states. Number of conflicting states, question not asked. So there is a scope of asking questions on number of conflicting states and number of conflicting entries. These are the possible type of questions. Number of conflicting states, number of conflicting entries. This could be the possible type of questions from the LR of parsers, from the LR family. Okay, these are the questions that were asked. This is questions that are possible to be expected. And one more approach in bottom-up parsing is called operator precedence parser. Operator precedence. But so far, question is asked only on operator grammar. Only on operator grammar asked. No question asked apart from this operator grammar. Which of the following is operator grammar? But still, you can expect more questions on operator precedence parser. On operator precedence parser. What are the possible type of questions on operator precedence parser? The possibilities. They may give you an operator precedence, operator grammar, and they may ask you what is a lead set, because previously questions were asked on the first and follow set. Now, what are the questions? What is a lead set, and what is a trail set of the grammar? Lead set, trail set, such kind of questions were asked. And also possible that the precedence relations. Based on precedence relations, you can expect which of the following precedence relations are correct, and that is expected for 2 marks. For 2 marks, you can expect question on precedence relations. This could be the possible type of questions. These are the expected type of questions. And These are the question from the topics. These are the type of questions that were asked. Okay, that's about bottom-up parsing. And moreover, in the parsing, I divided this topic into 3 subchapters like cottage-free grammars, top-down parsing, and bottom-up parsing. But completely parsing will be treated as one chapter. Almost, not almost, I can say every year, minimum one question you are getting from the parsing chapter. So far, no paper is there without a question on parsing. So parsing is damn sure, undoubtedly it is important. Okay, just focus on it and focus not only on the questions that were asked in the previous gate, and you also focus on the expected type of questions. Why I'm telling you is, because every year the number of untapped questions are increasing. So there is a lot of scope is there for asking untapped questions from this chapter of parsing. These are the possibilities I have explained. Okay, any more doubts? Vishwajit, yes. Vishwajit, thanks. Okay, any more doubts? Fine. If no doubts, we'll quickly go ahead with the next chapter called syntax directed translation. Yeah. What for syntax directed translation? Syntax directed translation is for associating semantic information with the grammar protections. To associate semantic information with the grammar protections, we have 2 notations. One is syntax directed definition, and another notation is a translation scheme. And almost every year, a question is coming from SDD and TS from these 2 topics, almost every year. And almost every year, a question is asking, and that too for 2 marks. That too for 2 marks, it is a question asked. And when you look for SDD, what they will give you is, they will give you SDD, and they will give you some input expression and ask you to find the output for the input sentence according to the translation specified. These are the questions are asked. So how to do this? You have to construct a parse tree for the input sentence and evaluate the semantics and to get the output. This is a possibilities. And almost most of the times a question asked. Again, SDD is having 2 types. We call S attributed and L attributed. We call S attributed and L attributed. S and L attributed. So S attributed syntax directed definition, L attributed definition. There are 2 types. And what is S attributed? When the syntax directed definition that uses synthesized attributes exclusively, we call S attributed. L attributed means if it uses synthesized and are inherited attributes. And if it is inherited attributes have a condition that it should be evaluated from the, defined from the parent and are only from left sibling, not from the right sibling. Then we can call L attributed definition. Questions were asked. And also syntax directed definition attaching some attributes to the grammar productions. And that attributes are classified into 2 types, synthesized attributes, inherited attributes. And questions were asked in the 2018 GATE examination on inherited attributes. That is also one possible questions. So almost every corner of the topic is covered. If a question comes, you can expect questions only from the PYQ type of questions. So far, no new areas are there from the chapter, right now, SDD. And in the translation scheme, they will give you a translation scheme and they will give you input and ask you to find the output for the input. So how do you do this? For the input, you have to construct a parse tree and perform depth first traversal on the parse tree. So construct a parse tree and perform depth first traversal on a parse tree to get the output of the sentence. Especially in syntax directed translation, almost every corner is touched in the previous gate. So that I recommend you solve all PYQs from the chapter. That could be 100% sufficient, I feel. Okay, that could be 100% sufficient if you solve all PYQs from the syntax directed translation. And only 2 topics, almost every time you are getting 1 question from these 2 topics. Okay, that's about syntax directed translation. So no expected topics because every corner is already touched. Next, we have a code optimization and also intermediate code generation. Code optimization and intermediate code generation. I think one slide is missing. Okay, we'll look at intermediate code generation. After syntax directed definition or translation, we have a chapter called intermediate code generation. So far, there are theoretical questions only asked on intermediate code generation and mostly 1 mark questions only. So far, no question asked on 2 marks, except a question on directed acyclic graph. Only 1 mark questions are asked, like theory questions. Why intermediate code is required or something like that kind of questions are asked. Theory questions asked so far. And questions asked on directed acyclic graph, like how many number of nodes and how many number of edges. Number of nodes and number of edges kind of questions are asked on the directed acyclic graph. And also question asked on static single assignment form. What is static single assignment form? Each variable is going to have single assignment, not multiple assignments. It means no reassignment is there, only every variable should have single assignment. Then we can call it as a static single assignment form. Question was asked as, what is the question asked is, find the minimum number of variables. The question is minimum number of variables required to convert the 3-address code into SSA code. But what is the expected type of questions? Those are the type of questions asked in the previous gate. The expected type is the question minimum number of variables or minimum number of variables that are required in TAC, minimum number of variables required in SSA, and questions not asked on implementation of 3-address code. Implementation of 3-address code is done by using quadruple, triple, indirect triple. So on this concept, questions were asked, quadruple, triple, indirect triples. On that, questions were not asked. So there is a scope of asking questions. Means they may give you expression and ask you to find which of the following is a quadruple representation of the above expression or something like this. Quadruple, triple, indirect triples. So no question asked. And also no question asked on program snippet. It means they may give you some program snippet and ask you to find which of the following is a correct 3-address code representation for the program snippet. Like C code, C program while statement is given, for statement is given. If that C program while statement, for statement, 1-dimensional array, 2-dimensional array, such program statements, if it is converted into 3-address code, like what code is possible? Like what 3-address code is possible? Like or else they may ask a question, which of the following 3-address code is the correct representation for the C declaration of while statement? Some program snippet is given. Or else how many statements are possible? How many statements in 3-address code? That kind of questions are expected. So this is an expected type of questions from the intermediate code generation. And the last chapter is optimization, and which is important because when you see 21 paper, it is application oriented type. Means complete C program is given. In 21, one question asked, how many number of dereference operations, how many number of addition operations after common sub-expression elimination is done. So means one complete program is given, something program is around 10 to 15 lines of code is given. And in that code, we have to perform common sub-expression elimination technique. So means optimization we have to perform. After performing optimization, it is asked how many number of addition operations, how many number of dereference operations. Dereference operations means like this is a pointer reference operation, structure variable dereference operations are there. That kind of question asked, application oriented. So this time also you can expect questions on application oriented. Means some program snippet is given, asked you to perform some dead code elimination or copy propagation or common sub-expression elimination or code motion. Some technique they may ask you to apply on the program code. After that, like they may ask a question, how many addition operations, dereference operations, how many times loop is iterating or something like this kind of questions possible to be asked. And on optimization, before 2015, optimization was there. And after 2015, optimization is removed. Again, it is added in 2021 paper. But most of the questions are theoretical based questions. And some questions were asked on control flow graphs. On control flow graphs, they have asked some questions on how many nodes and edges. Nodes, edges, basic blocks. Questions are asked on basic blocks and number of controls. How many control paths are there? Number of controls. Such kind of questions are asked on control flow graphs. It is important. And questions are asked on optimization techniques, some theoretical questions and questions on control flow graphs. And these are the questions are asked. But what is an expected questions are on data flow analysis. On data flow analysis, they have asked one question on data flow equations only asked. Just one question asked in 2021 GATE examination. That is a question on data flow equations. But what is expected? These data flow equations are going to be evaluated on the basic blocks to verify the available expressions. Questions are unavailable expressions and live variables. After data flow analysis, what are the live variables and what are the dead variables, right? What are the available expressions? What are the busy expressions? What are the loop invariant computations? Such kind of questions, still there is a scope of asking questions, but you can expect some problematic part of questions from the optimization chapter, especially on the data flow analysis. Like this is called program, they may give you a program and ask it to give you what are the live variables and all. That may be a possibility of a questions from the optimization chapter. Okay, these are the topics, and from in these topics we have discussed where questions were asked and what are the places questions are possible to be asked. Tapped and untapped area questions that I have discussed. And only one thing is you have to focus more on this subject, because this subject is a small subject and you can expect what questions are going to be asked. It is easy, and if you solve PYQs also, the number of questions are less. So I recommend all of you to solve all the PYQs at least for 2 to 3 times, so that getting that 5 to 6 marks, 4 to 6 marks from the CD is compulsory, and it is easy. And if you prepare in this way for every subject, getting a good rank is very easy. Why I'm going to tell you this one now? Because when I was searching the Google, I have seen this IIT placement statistics of 2022. Look at these statistics. I just became mad by looking these statistics in the internet and when I'm Googling it. In IIT Bombay, highest package is 2.05 crores. Oh my God, what is this 2.05 crores? It is not 5 lakhs per annum. It is 2 crore 5 lakhs per annum. Generally, normal college peoples are going to get 5 lakhs per annum or 6 lakhs per annum. But that 5 lakhs and 6 lakhs only we will say, oh, very good, student got a very good job, like, and all, we are appreciating it. But look at what is the pay packages of IIT candidates. IIT Bombay candidate 2.05 crore per annum. Delhi 2 crore per annum. IIT Madras 1.89 crore per annum. And IIT Kanpur is conducting GATE 2023. As you know it, the highest package by the IIT Kanpur student is 2.23 crore per annum. Yaar, what is this 2.23 crores? Is it a money or something else? So definitely we become mad by looking these statistics. But, and one important thing is, it is not just one student right now. Look at how many offer letters the IIT students got. IIT Bombay students got 1,723 offer letters. It means every student minimum having 10 offer letters right now. Minimum 10 offer letters in a hand. So when company comes to you, company will not offer you. You have to demand to the company. So what you wanted, you have to demand, or else company will offer you some salary. So that you decided. So you have to demand, only that is possible if you study in IITs. If you have to study in IITs, then you have to crack the gate with a colorful rank. Colorful rank means not the bigger digit. The colorful rank means some smaller digits, like a 2-digit rank. If it is 2 digits or below 500, you can able to get an admission into IITs. Below 500 means, again, 500 is also not suitable for getting IIT admission, because again, if it is a reservation or something else, then we can go for IITs. But always targeted for below 100. Target for below 100. So if everything goes fine, you may get Air 1. If you get Air 1, so you can go into your dream IIT. For computer science candidates, IIT Bombay is a dream. So IIT Bombay is damn sure it is very, very good. And IIT Bombay is giving good placements when compared with other IITs, and this is a dream for every CSE candidate to get Air 1, to get admission into IIT Bombay. Because these are the statistics, definitely it may be motivating you. And after all this preparation strategy, maybe you are thinking that is it possible to crack in the first attempt? Only one thing I will tell you, yes, it is absolutely possible. You should have a strong determination that you have to crack the gate, and you just follow the strategy that we are giving in the classroom, live sessions and all. You follow the strategy, and your determination and our strategy, you put in a plan of action, so that cracking the gate in the first attempt is damn sure it is very, very easy. And what is the approach for the gate? I suggest you start with faculty notes, means especially when I'm talking about Complier Design. I suggest you first, my notes you prepare it and list out all the short notes and formulas if any, and then go ahead with practice all the short notes and formulas at least for 5 times, 5 to 10 times. You make it, and wherever you time permits, you read it out and practice it. And then all the questions from my notes, you practice it, because faculty notes practice all the questions. Practice means put pen down, don't leave it, okay? And it is important solving all PYQs, because 90% of the paper is coming from the PYQs. So solving all the PYQs is mandatory, and then revise the notes, and then it is important, write the test series. If you write the test series, you can self-evaluate it, where you are weak, where you are strong. That self-evaluation is done. Suppose you feel you are weak at some concept, then you can work hard on that concept so that you can not do same mistakes that you have done in the particular topic. And finally, you write full-length tests, and especially after November, I recommend you write full-length test. This is an approach for GATE, and these are the cutoff marks, because getting 25 marks is very easy actually. If you get 25 marks, means you qualified. If you qualified and take admission, I hope you know that you are going to get a 12,400 rupees of stipend every month from the central government of India. Suppose if you are OBC or SC/ST, that cutoff marks is very, very less out of 100. Out of 100, this is very, very less. But just think about it. Can't you get 25 marks out of 100? Just think. It is very easy if you have a proper strategy. Okay. And we are offering is online pre-recorded classes, live classes, and quick revision course. And we have a previous year GATE questions modules, pre-recorded lectures are there. And also we have lectures on Hindi. So and also we have a handbook consisting of short notes, formulas, examples, and some questions related to placements, so that this handbook will be helpful, and this is available in ACE publications, Flipkart, Amazon, also it is available. Just go through it. Okay, finally, what I say is, just to win the race, you need to join the ACE. I'm concluding the session with big thank you all. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
I'm Nikhil Kumar Saha. I got AIR1 in GATE Mechanical 2022. I was enrolled in ACE online test series program. So test series, whether it would be subject wise, topic wise or full length test, it helped me to improve my numerical solving skills in all the domain of the subjects that are included in mechanical. It helped me to cope up with the new numerical type of problems which normally students face difficulty in solving in first go. So it helped me to cope up with this type of numericals, and also I got to know through different multiple choice questions, multiple select questions which are now in the GATE Mechanical they have introduced. So I got very good quality questions, so it helped me in preparation a lot. I'm Nikhil Kumar Saha. I got AIR1 in GATE Mechanical 2022. I was enrolled in ACE online test series program. So test series, whether it would be subject wise, topic wise or full length test, it helped me to improve my numerical solving skills in all the domain of the subjects that are included in mechanical. It helped me to cope up with the new numerical type of problems which normally students face difficulty in solving in first go. So it helped me to cope up with this type of numericals, and also I got to know through different multiple choice questions, multiple select questions which are now in the GATE Mechanical they have introduced. So I got very good quality questions, so it helped me in preparation a lot. I'm Nikhil Kumar Saha. I got AIR1 in GATE Mechanical 2022. I was enrolled in ACE online test series program. So test series, whether it would be subject wise, topic wise or full length test, it helped me to improve my numerical solving skills in all the domain of the subjects that are included in mechanical. It helped me to cope up with the new numerical type of problems which normally students face difficulty in solving in first go. So it helped me to cope up with this type of numericals, and also I got to know through different